In this video, well, so often in gardening you watch these the content about gardening, and it always seems like it's so expensive to garden. I spend very little. You can garden cheaply, folks, and that's what I look for and try to find. Today we're going to look at saving money through saving seeds, and it's not very hard. It really isn't. Full disclosure, raise your hand if you've spent over $200 on seeds. I know I have. Welcome to Bowtie Life, where we talk mostly about life in the garden. I'm Bowtie David. We live in Destin, Florida, Zone 9B. And now coming up, in fact, right after this video comes out, we will be recording the June 2024 garden tours. I believe the first of the 3 parts will be recorded on June 1st. That's a Saturday. And so, as always, I like to include in all of our videos experiments and results and tasks and progress in the garden and harvests and everything that gets done in our garden. And so, be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss a thing. Subscribing doesn't cost a thing, folks. So just click the subscribe button on this video, and here on YouTube is where videos come out first. If you've already subscribed, I want to thank you so much. You are my hero, and I really appreciate you. You've helped grow Bowtie Life to what it is today. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. This is not going to be a very long video, I hope. Whenever I say that, if you watch many of my videos, you know what happens. No, we're going to be saving seeds from our broccoli. Now, as I already said, we are in Florida, Zone 9B, and some things are different in Florida as they are in, I don't know, North Dakota. So the things that I deal with here, very different from someone in your part of the country. And so there may not be a lot of correlation on exact scheduling of some of these things in your area, but I try to convey as much green content as I can, which means this is not timely. This is not limited to a certain time. It's true every year, every time. There are places and times when we grow, say, broccoli, which is what we're dealing with today. And I know up north, you can't grow broccoli in the winter in, say, North Dakota. And you can, in fact, here in Florida, the winter is when we grow it. We don't get freezes every winter, though we do get them most winters. However, brassicas, like broccoli, are a cool weather plant. And they can take a little bit of that cold. And our broccoli did. And of course, I actually saved, well, let me back up. If you've watched any of the garden tours, you saw where there's a whole lot of seed out in the garden, or there was, and I cut a lot of it. I'm so excited because I had way more than I could possibly use in a lifetime. Well, I like to show the failures as well as the successes because it's all stuff we can learn from. I put it in a container. I put all these seeds in a container, and they got moldy, mildewy, wet because I left them in our Florida room, which is a room enclosed by windows, but it's humid out there. It's not climate controlled. And so, yeah, it grew stuff. Kind of nasty. Not to worry. If you saw more recently, here's a video from the May Garden Tour. You can see we still have some seeds out there. These are the seed pods that you can see have grown from our broccoli, and this was actually the first year I successfully grew broccoli, and that alone was very exciting because I finally figured out here we grow it in the winter. And so I went out and I cut a decent handful of broccoli, sprouted broccoli with these seed pods and these little brown, long bean-looking things. These are the seed pods, and there's seeds in every single one of those that hadn't been broken open yet. But we're going to work on saving these seeds, and I just wanted to show you how it's done. It's very simple, folks, and you can save tons of money. If you just let a little bit go to seed, you save lots of money because next year I'm going to have seed. In fact, I know I just recently tried to sow basil, and I said in the short it was Seed Saver Exchange. It wasn't that, it was Seeds of Change. I misread the label, but it was Seeds of Change. It was a package I got from Lowe's, our local big box hardware store, and those seeds didn't work. They were old seeds. I was using my oldest seeds first, and I had a complete failure. Well, I planted them again. A second complete failure, would you believe? So I said, okay, enough is enough. I went ahead and planted some basil seed that I harvested just last year, and we're already having a lot of success. In fact, you can see here, they are already taking off, thankfully, and I'm hoping we will have plenty of basil, not only to put out in the garden, but if I can, I'll give away a few of the seedlings. So let's look at the supplies that you need for saving and collecting these seeds. So folks, in this frame is everything you need. You've got your seed pods. In fact, you can see all those little bean-looking seed pods? Those are seeds inside there. And there's dozens, if not hundreds, of these seed pods all over this plant. Now, there's actually some green in there too. I'm going to take that green out first, but very easily, we're going to just stick it in this bucket, shake it around, and shake out the seeds. Maybe manipulate some of these pods to make sure we get all the seeds out. That's it. So first things first, folks, don't overcomplicate this. I've already done a bunch of these. In fact, you can see right over here, I've got a pile of remnants already. And all I am doing is I'm taking a handful of these, something manageable, sticking them in. Now there's 3 green ones. I'm not going to include those. It's okay. We have a lot of seeds in here. I'm just manipulating these. I don't know if you can hear. There's things falling down inside this bucket. It's just a 5-gallon bucket, a clean one. 5-gallon bucket. It's also dry. And like I can feel those beans. I'm sorry, beans. Seeds down in this pod right here. It looks like beans, doesn't it? Little tiny beans. No, it's seed pods. And we're going to do this. Now, folks, please don't overcomplicate this. Now, there are seeds that involve a little bit more, but, we're talking about broccoli and beans. And there are a lot of garden produce out there that are this easy to save seeds. Listen, hear all that stuff falling down there? Those are seed pods and seeds. When God created these things, he didn't want to make it difficult. He didn't want to make it so that we had to have $1 million machines to do this. He wanted us to be able to do this. And when he sent man out of the garden, it's funny because people call when God sent man out of the garden, they say, oh, this is the curse of mankind. Well, you look at how many times God said something. Once, he sent them out of the garden, he said. 3 times in that same passage, he said, and you will eat, and you will not be hungry. 3 times he said it, and he wanted us to have success. He always looked out for us. And so this is really what it boils down to is, folks, don't make this complicated. Find ways that these things can be done simply, easily, and efficiently. And so that's what we do as home gardeners. We find all these very efficient ways. Don't get distracted by the $1 million machines that people use to do this kind of stuff. See what you can do. Now, I'm looking down in here. There's a lot of husks in here, and I'm just kind of crunching them up because underneath all these husks, I'm going to try to get most of this, and we'll see if we can find the bottom down here. Do you see all that brown stuff down there on the bottom? Those are seeds. Hundreds, if not thousands, of seeds, folks. That's next year's garden. Maybe even the year after. But I'll probably save seeds next year for the year after. I can give seeds away, though. So the very last thing I'm doing, I'm holding this bucket kind of at an angle. I want all the seeds to gather down here on the bottom, but I'm shaking out all this chaff, these empty husks. And they're like straw. You can stick this stuff in the compost. If you're doing composting right, they see if there are seeds that get mixed up. I guarantee there are. they'll never germinate because those seeds get buried. So I can hear the tons of seeds down there. And I'm just going through here picking out the chaff. That's it. You know, they've done this for, I don't know, thousands of years now. Egyptians did this. Can you hear those good seeds landing in the bucket? That's all that is. And so, folks, there it is. That's going to be, now, that's a lot of seeds in there, folks. It really is. It's a whole lot of seeds in there. Do you know how many plants I had this past year? It was under a dozen. It was under that many. Even if I have a lot of bad seeds, I can double, triple, and quadruple sow them and still get all the broccoli I want for the year. Now, we are going to be planting more broccoli next year. I'll end up letting 1 or 2 plants go to seed again, just like I did this, and we'll have more seeds for the following year. But that is a lot of seed. It's more than I spent $3 on. A lot more, several times more than what I spent $3 on. And I would have come up with more had I not let all the seed pods go to rot with mold and mildew. Very, very disappointed in myself at that one. But hey, we still came out with, and it's one of the reasons why I left stuff out there. You always have backups. I like having backups. And so we still have way more seed than we're going to need. So thank you for following along today and watching this video. For those of you who have subscribed, I said it before, I'll say it again. Subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube. You are my heroes. You have made Bowtie Life what it is today. We are trying to grow our channel to the next level. And once we reach that level, we will be able to do so much more. If you're just finding this channel, this is actually my own personal channel. I now know that on May 21st of 2024, which is unimportant really, just the time of the year is when I did it. This is the day I collected that seed. Now I'm going to write on that bag exactly what it is, so don't worry, I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to try to remember, but with my ADD brain, I've tried journaling, I've tried photography, I've tried doing the little app on the phone, and my brain just doesn't get excited like it does with these videos. Sometimes I will just let the videos play on the TV in the morning while I'm running around here getting ready, and it'll remind me to do something. I'll run do it. And if you've seen any of my videos, you hear this almost every video. Quite frequently I talk about this. So you're invited to my own personal journal. So please do subscribe. It is free. Please subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube so you don't miss a thing in the garden as I over-document everything. Again, doesn't cost a thing. So, another way you can help grow the channel is click thumbs up on this video and share it on your social media pages like Facebook and X and WhatsApp with friends that might be looking for ways to save money in their garden. There are so many people out there that just may not have $200 to spend on seeds, and you may buy a little bit and anymore. This is how I do it, folks. I will occasionally buy a pack of seeds here and there. Occasionally, I will send off through catalog or website for a little bit of seed, and then I will try to figure out how to save those seeds. The basil that I told you about in the beginning, all those seeds that I had purchased years ago, which I actually planted from for 3 years. I planted from that packet. I did, but they didn't grow very well. And then, but that's okay because I saved seeds. I actually have some more seeds saved from that basil from previous years. I couldn't find it though. Maybe it didn't end up in the box. Anyway, thank you for following along. I do appreciate you watching these videos. Y'all have a blessed day.